Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. How is everyone today? Hey, Brent and Rod, Jose and Bill and Mitchell. How are folks? Papa and Scope and Jordan. Hey, Felix and Doom, Tuxedo, Little Brad and Steve. It's been a while. It's been a busy while. Hey, Cheesy the Potato, and we got Shannon Lewis. Yeah, we're back at it. So today, hey Joey, hey Lord Gitface and Nurglerot. Today is going to be a lot of just kind of talking about Prog and Form Next, with some wiring of the solid fork thrown in there. So set a little expectations there. We're gonna sidetrack quite a bit, I think, today. So I hope that's okay with everyone. Hey Armor 3D, hey Lucas and James, hey Arch 3D and the Reverend. My trip was awesome. It was very busy, but it was great. Hi, Jose and Myrigs. So what we are probably going to start with, I got a bunch of little booth swag stuff to kind of just show off, a bunch of pictures we can go through, and some wiring we will get done on the printer here. Hey, Jeff and Tohos. So, just a quick reminder that we are doing a Polymaker filament giveaway today. The link is in the pin post and the description. Also, they are starting a 30% off sale tomorrow on the website. So keep an eye out for that. Remember to use your favorite affiliate link. Mine's in the description, but use one of them. So yeah, I think it lasts a week starting tomorrow. So keep an eye out. Hey, U3DP. It was awesome to meet so many people. I guarantee I'm not going to remember faces to screen names. So, but I do remember meeting everybody, and that was really great to be in a different part of the world and get access to a whole new set of people in person. So, do you think the BTT VVD will be available before the LDO box turtle kit? I don't know, and I don't know a whole lot about either, but I would guess, just from the little bit that I know, I would guess the box turtle is going to be out first, but that's just the nature of where things are in their processes. So, hey Clown Hammer, hey BBs. Yeah, so why don't we do a quick go through of the some pictures from the event, and that'll spawn a little bit of conversation on how the trip went, if that's okay with everyone. Hey Timor, the cats are both in here. They are both wandering and re-exploring the space. As long as Oscar doesn't try to get up on top of the computer, then we'll be okay. There he is. He's a little skittish. Clownhammer, thanks for becoming a member. Okay, so we started our trip in Prague, and Shane from Prusa was super kind enough to meet us at the airport, get us acquainted with the public transportation systems, and give us a little bit of a walk around that first night of the event. Us getting there. So we had, at this point of this picture, I think we'd been up for about 24 hours. So this is the mechanical clock, the famous mechanical clock in Prague. And hey Alan, welcome. Hey, don't knock it. So we did quite a bit of wandering around, and then April turned in, and Shane and I went and got a burger and a beer, and then I turned in and got a good night's sleep. I think I did a pretty effective job of acclimating to the time changes, based on basically staying up for a long time and then getting to sleep at about the appropriate local time. Hey, Underwood Dama. Hey, Pez, I got a picture for you in here. I thought of you when I took the picture. So there's my wife, April, and I. in front of the clock. And it was chilly, but you know what I figured out on this trip is I was either roasting hot or freezing cold. There was not a lot of in between. I did not wear this big thick jacket very often. But yeah, just kind of, there's going to be a few duplicates. This is the clock doing its thing. I'm not going to leave the thing, but if we skip through here, we can see. Let's see. There we go. Things move around, and autumn is all about layers. Oh yeah. And my chin did stay warm. Yep. So I think there's supposed to be something that pops out here. It didn't on this particular hour. We only caught it once. We only tried to catch it once. But it's a cool clock. There's probably a whole lot of information out there that not aware of. This I thought was cool. An old plane that they did a really good job of bolting butterfly wings on it, and they actually animated and lights. It was kind of fun. Hey zombie. I figured it was cool enough to take a picture. This was way up on the side of a building. There were 2 of them on this building. And then Shane and I had beer, and we just ordered beer, and it came in these giant mugs, and it was good. Spitfire butterflies, yeah. Hey DigiPeace, am I gonna see you in a couple of weeks? Hey Obi-Wan. Then the next day we went and got our Prusa factory tour. Now, our tour was truncated. It was not as in-depth as it could have been due to what I didn't know at the time, but found out when we got to Formnext, and everybody is aware, or should be aware of that, I'm sure. So, I sure am. Awesome. Looking forward to it. How am I, Trey? So this is in their little welcome room. These are all the themed printers there, and a bunch of cool example prints. Big prints, and then in their lab they have an AFS, and this is the latest version of the AFS running here, and it's actually doing prints and running through stuff. It couldn't get a great picture because it couldn't open the doors, but I think I get a better picture at Formnext. Another picture of this is the little history of Prusa themed printer that's in there. Hey Randy. This is the models, the different models of the printers in an area there, going back to all the way back and all the way forward. So history one is cool, yeah. It was walked through every bit on this. I couldn't recite what the meaning, but every bit of this has some sort of meaning on it. I thought it was cool. That's a Mendel I3 or I something or whatever. And face masks, printer. That's a Mark II or prior. It's hard to tell for me. And of course, April and I took lots of selfies. That's the easiest way to get a picture for us. So I did not document much of the factory tour. I did take a video of the print farm, and I'll post that, but it's not in this collection of things. I did that on my Osmo. But this was cool because this is Pac-Man. This is their packaging screws system. So many of the things, of the tools and things that's cool about Prusa and a lot of companies is an original MK0. Okay. Is they design and build and print much of the tooling and automation equipment and stuff. And this does a counting and sorting and packaging of screws for the kits. So if you're missing or have extras of anything, you can yell at Pac-Man. On this day in the factory tour, I did not get a preview of Core 1. I was invited to the pre-release unveiling of the Core 1 at the show. And that was only a couple hours before it got unveiled to the public. But it did give an opportunity for some quiet one-on-one or one-on-few question and answer in the little side room we went to. That was fun to be a part of. Another picture, and it's got its bins for the different. Oh, you making trouble over there? Yep, that's Oscar. And the alpacas, of course. Had to see the alpacas. Okay, and then it's just a bunch of these next pictures are just going to be cool architecture and stuff. Stuff I thought was cool in Prague. So we're going to kind of go through these quickly. I will, I can share a link to this album. This is just an iCloud album I put out there. But, oh, and here we are. You hear Pez or Liz? I saw Pez individually packaged and much larger. We bought all kinds of candies. I did not buy any of these. I should have. Then Sanity. Everybody knows Sanity? Sanity and I had I think this was Wednesday night or Thursday night. We got together and had a beer and some food and chatted. Had a good time. We went to this place where you put credits on a card and then you go and pour your own of various craft beers in the area. And it was pretty good. So cool stuff. This is over by the big famous bridge in hey Bob, in Prague. I think we got just various pictures. Prague Castle from a distance. The cats are all over here. We'll probably be able to see them wander by at some point. Prague Castle in the background. And this is on our way up there. Got a picture back at. So we were, where those previous pictures were I think taken right about here. And this is on the after a ton of steps and walking up to right outside the castle grounds. A little bit of attempts at panoramas. And then inside there. Yeah, the weather was pretty good. We got a little bit of rain, but not bad. Hey, another CG. And then we climbed the 287 steps up to the top of the bell tower. Very narrow, lots of steps. And the bell, or one of the bells that's up there. I thought the construction of this was kind of neat. Just the shape of the steps. Yeah, we walked that day. I walked 11 and a half miles and recorded something like, what was it? 30 something thousand steps, 36,000 steps or something. There's Oscar. These cats are big now. This is from the top. You walk a lot. I do. A lot. I think it was minimum 15,000 steps every day. Then some pictures of the surrounding area from the top of the tower. Oh, and I thought the rooster here was kind of cool. A little better picture there. Hey, Derek. Oh, there's Felix. I was trying to get there's a few of these. I was trying to get a picture without glare, and they had several of them mounted there. So I finally found one that turned out pretty good. some point. More of Prague, bigger buildings out in the background. Derek, thanks for the gifted memberships. From the top down at the little people. Yeah, there we go. Finally got a picture of that that's usable. Use my VOR in a year or so. Is it worth it to update everything or just leave it alone? Only a year? I would print, see if it works. Hey, Poity. Here, Chapman. Yeah, lots of cityscape. This is from inside that same bell tower entrance. Just the nice backlighting on the windows there. 287 steps. Pooling resources to get you a Prusa core kit. I ordered one. I did. Did you go to Jewish Ghetto? I don't know what that is, so probably not. Tuxedo, thanks for the gifts and memberships. What was this? A little bit of, the information about the bell tower. Got a picture of that. 3D Protofab, thanks for being a member. 30 months, thank you. This was kind of cool. This is the art museum there at the castle. I thought this was neat. Such an old picture, and they did a one of those. What do you call it? Someone can tell me what they call it. Didn't know you can climb the tower. Yeah. Did you just get on one of the early esoteric belief in Europe? Rod, thanks for being a member. Would you eat well in Germany? I had schnitzel once. Otherwise, I mostly ate at the show. Oh, and we went to the Prusa after show dinner, which was at an Italian place. It was really good. And then went out with Big Tree Tech and Rat Rig and those folks to a hamburger joint that was really good. Adam, thanks for being a member. And Rod, thanks for the gifts and memberships. Yeah, this is massive. And then the gargoyles on the side. This is sticking straight out. This isn't standing up. It's just the angle of the picture. But, hey, Ramon. Then the paintings at the ceiling. And then I thought this next picture was really good. This is a mirror, a circular mirror they have sitting on the floor. You take a picture of the mirror and you can get yourself in but I got my wife in the picture. I thought it turned out really good. I don't know that strong beer exists over there, the GPs. I think everything's about 4%. You drink a lot. But yeah, more, and just the picturesque, just the architecture. Oh, and this is another area on the other side of town. Shane took us. We went to a more authentic little restaurant, and I had dumplings, a dumpling dish that was pretty good. Old brewery that made beer at 45%. Wow. So. Yeah, almost everything we were drinking were Pilsners. So it's basically, and it was all good. It's just I didn't feel any of it, which was good. You drink a little more. This is cool stuff. Oreo Coca-Cola Zero. Has anybody ever heard of this? Has anybody had it? Super easy to drink, yep. So to be honest, this did not have a lot of Oreo taste. It basically tasted like Coke Zero. Maybe a tiny bit. So haven't tried it, seen it state size. Bought it because it was a novelty. This is Frankfurt from the airplane as we're flying in. So, I think that's the event center right there. I think that's where Formnext was, because I think I recognize this tower right here with it's round with a pyramid on top. Didn't have any absinthe. Oh, that got snuck in there. My son taking pictures of of the cats and sending them to us. He had snagged Felix's collar off. So, oh, what else did I get in here? That's our neighbor cat. So they were visiting our neighbor cat. I hope I didn't. Everything else should be okay. This is in Yantek. Super nice. On Sunday before the show, we took a train down to the little town, I don't remember the name of it, where he goes to university, and we walked around. Actually, I told you the 11.5-mile day, it wasn't in Prague, it was here. It was this day. We walked everywhere in this little town. This was the 11.5-mile day. This is a Russian church in that town. Not to the castle dungeon. Well, there was, I take that back. There was one of the areas that did have a little plaque there and talking about the dungeon and the gates in there. So I think I did. Nothing that you could walk down into or whatever, but it was right there. Just a bunch of buildings. There wasn't a whole lot as much to picture in there. This is at Yantek's little makerspace spot he has in a little industrial complex. There's the main person there does a filament extrusion line, and then another person in there prints and sells little vase lamps and stuff. So. Yeah, so we had a good time walking around. We went to I think another Italian restaurant there in town, and I had the lasagna, which was good. April had the pizza, and Jan had some pasta thing. And I had a beer. Yep, and there's the convention center grounds. April and I walked over there the next day, and Norgoat, thanks for becoming a member. Walked over there the next day to see what the walk was like. Our first hotel in Frankfurt was in an interesting part of town. It was just a Hilton Garden Inn, because the event hotel that was recommended by the event was very expensive, but it was super nice. We were at the Hilton for a couple of days, but we walked around there a little bit at night, and April wouldn't have walked around on her own, or I probably wouldn't have walked around on my own. So. This is the view from the next hotel we were at, which was just a few blocks from the first one, further away from the event, but it ended up being really nice. An easy S-line train over to the event center. And this is the inside. It was a really nice hotel. April did not stick around. She was there for about 20 minutes and then noped out. She went and wandered around, looked at shops, and did her thing. You have the UFO PCB. If you have any questions about it, just coordinate it. I'm also the one responsible for your ES15 Plus class. Thanks, Lucas. I do have one, and I do need to install it on a V0 at some point soon. Like the neighborhood around Vice. Maybe, but I didn't really walk around at Vice. Yeah. Okay, so then we're at the show. Matt Denton, super nice guy. Chatted with him a bit there at the Polymaker booth a few times. So we're gonna go through, and there's gonna be a lot of selfies with me and other people. This is the Core 1. This is in the little side room. I think. I'm just gonna mute that. But a little early look, pre-public release videos of the Core 1. Wouldn't want to walk around that part of Reno without a buddy at night. Ah, yeah. The idea of a recess. It is nice to have a spot for the spool, spot to customize the other side. Yeah. They took the top panel off so I could get a little better picture of the tool head, and interesting horizontal cable chain here. Something I kind of want to look at maybe for, see if that would work well in Trident. Hey, Reth. Learned the hard way about walking around downtown in a different country. Walked into a riot and, ooh, a few quiet nights. I was in the Army. I don't remember much. Did I get any? No, just little. You might get some angles here that you might not see in other places. Been using this printer internally. I can't decide if I want to be an early adopter or wait the first revision. That's definitely something to figure out. Get to the filament and feed it when on a shelf with other printers. Well, then in that case, then you're probably going to be mounting the spool above or something. That's the nice thing is that the door is reversible. The side that you put the filament in is reversible. You can mount it somewhere else. The flexibility is pretty nice. And also this thing is a tank. It weighs about 50 pounds. A lot of cables and cable chain, no CAN bus. It would be the same as a Mark IV, the same number of wires that are going to that little daughter board as on a Mark IV. Minimized internal volume idea, yep. And then it is 3 lead screws. They are not individually controlled. It does run Z until they all even out, similar to a Mark IV. And that's all around. You gotta, so much of this is based around the existing parts bin. So, and that's what makes the upgrade from a Mark IV pretty reasonable. They did talk quite a bit about like dry boxes that fit into the side here. So built-in, basically dry box. There is not much plastic in this printer. I think if I remember right, and it might exclude the neck extruder, but if I remember right, there's 12, either 11 or 12 printed parts in this thing. Same build plate, yep. Same build plate, same heater. So let's get through these and I'll talk a little bit more about what I know. I don't know anything that's not public about this printer, but my own insights and talks and what I've thought about this. Does it come with a fish? Yeah. A little detail on the Z joints, and so there's a lot of. I talked to the designer of this printer a bit, and they're an interesting thing because I've experimented. So there's 3 lead screws, but only 2 linear rods supporting Z. The rear is floating, and I experimented with that on my Hevo, and actually an early test on Trident had a floating rear lead screw. So I was really interested to see what they did to make that work on this printer. See, this rear lead screw doesn't have a linear rod to go along with it. And this is not constrained at the top. This is only so you don't catch it and pull on the lead screw if you got your hands in there or whatever. This doesn't even have a bearing here. As it should be. There shouldn't be anything holding the end of a lead screw like that. How big is the pack of gummies in this one? That's a good question. I didn't ask it. I also forgot. It was suggested that I sign one of them. I wish I was a Trident. And I completely forgot to, I wasn't gonna actually do it, but I was gonna tease Joe about it. It is, I mean, this is all, the X gantry is all bent sheet metal. So much of this is just bent steel. Just some more pictures of the thing. These are the 10mm rods from the Z on a Mark IV is used for the Y, and then it's either the X or Y are used for the Z on this. I don't know what I did here.
But obviously, in this Mark IV has an advantage because there are no like big flat surfaces which can act as.
Yeah, it just printing, I think is what that was, and Joe talking in the background there. There's the back. So this is the control box, and the power supply is on the left here. The control box, the lower part of this, about this much, is the Mark IV controller. The upper part is an auxiliary controller that plugs into that gives them the extra ports needed. So there is part of the upgrade is another board, and that's probably where it's got to be where the extra Z stepper plugs in and things. What do you think you're doing, Oscar? You're gonna knock things right off of there, aren't you? Oh, we will take, since he's here and seems to be somewhat amenable. Look at this guy. Look at how big he is. Oh, he's not happy. Somewhat. Commercial rat rig printer. I did. Yep. On-off switch should be on the front. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I'm gonna get down there, hang out with Felix. Here we go. There. Seems happy that strange person isn't back again. Yes, this is true. This is very true. Okay. They get big so fast. The core is a transmorgified Mark IV to compete with bamboo thread, even the upgrade path. And that's a key part. There is an upgrade path. That is really cool. And you know, historically, they've provided upgrade paths going forward. So I think that's a key differentiator here, is you can expect to be able to upgrade a Core 1 to a Core 1S or whatever they're going to end up calling it. It is not 2 PSUs. This is a electronics enclosure here, Derek. This is, it's the same styling and similar size. So, and then I hope all the selfies with other people are okay. This is JNP. So JNP is such a nice guy. So excited to meet him. This is the father of the Leviathan, LDO Leviathan controller. So if anybody, and then I caught someone looking under the skirts, because these are the Core 1s before they were publicly unveiled. And actually that's David, who works for Prusa, does a lot of, I think David, I keep mixing up his name, does a lot of finished post-process printing stuff. I'll upgrade Mark IV to XL. I have no idea why I took this picture. I have no idea. It might have. This was cool. And this is the one video that I took. So the one actual dedicated little interview the person video that I took. This is a Voron 2. It's a university project, and I talked to the professor over the project. And this was a student-led project that is a 5-axis Voron 2. That is so well done. The aesthetics on that tool head are great fit. And it's sitting here printing these little tubes. But I did take a full little talk to him and interview. Now that's going to take a little extra time, even more so than some of the other stuff. I'm going to get some video from them, because this is an early version of this. They have a newer version with a manual swap tool changer on there, tool head, manual swap tool head. and they were doing things like printing an object and then swapping the tool head and printing a silicone seal on top of that object type stuff. So I got a few pictures here, and I might have had a little picture of it actually doing its thing. And Matt Denton's Lego bike. So yeah, slicing, that was a big question in terms of slicing is one of the biggest challenges in a printer like that. And for the specifics of that one, they're using Rhino with some custom scripts to generate the tool paths. Another selfie with Matt. And this is at the Polymaker booth. There's Ivan. Folks recognize the hammer guy, right? Not a hammer. He had brought a small version of the marble machine and had it displayed at the Prusa booth. Hey, Kittrell. Anybody know who this is? I was very pleased to meet Albert, and I got one of the few 24/7 printing. Nice to chat with him. I think this was over at the Prusa booth. Crazy Voron V0 guy, yep. Lost a little weight, didn't check that. He's gonna be at Smurf. I don't remember. I asked a lot of people if they were gonna be at Smurf, and I don't remember what the answers were on all of them. Oh, okay. So this is what is this? AIM 3D. They are doing a slicer process to fill or to print with 3D honeycomb infill and fill the gaps in the infill by injecting the plastic into it. And I have a sample print here that they gave me. And this is 2-color just to demonstrate a little more. But they print the object with some percentage of infill. I don't know the details. And they have a nozzle with kind of a needle tip to go in and then inject and withdraw at the same time to promote part strength. So you basically end up with 100% infill part. But since it's 3D honeycomb, those filled segments are alternating. So thought that was neat. Now it's not an open source, that is a proprietary thing. This is a trade show. The intent though is it sounds like some sort of ability to make it available to communities, whether it be a license you buy or slicer implements or something like that. I don't know, but it is like brick stacking infill. Exactly, Randy. So I thought that was neat. I had intended to go back and do a video on that, but I chatted with Stefan, CNC Kitchen, about it. He was there and he says he went over and got some video on it. So hopefully that shows up on Stefan's channel at some point. Oh yeah, so one of the things they talked about is if you're printing with a fiber filled, some sort of filled filament, instead of all of the fibers naturally aligning in X and Y when you're doing a normal print, when you inject that into the gap, you end up with more of a isotropic layout of the filaments. This isn't brick stacking. This is filling infill. This isn't extruding in this brick stacking thing. This actually came from Geek Detour, who did that video recently. He was at the Big Tree Tech and Rat Rig dinner that I went to, and we chatted a bit, and he gave me this print that he made. We can talk about that. So, but they were doing it on a V0, and that was Marcel from Prusa had showed me, said, hey, I want to come and see this V0 that's doing this cool thing. So we went over there and checked it out. There's a little wiper on here, but otherwise there's nothing special about this printer. The nozzle has a kind of needle tip on it, and they have to clean it to make sure that it doesn't get stuck at the entrance to the infill when they're injecting it. Oh yeah, and this is kind of showing the infill injection and the kind of information on that. Hey, Mad Cat. We got Grant coming in from 3D Musketeers. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Amber. Hey, Grant. Hey, Aetherling, Matrix Tech, and Isaac. Hybrid Robotics and Duff. Welcome. Hey, Collie. We are just going through. So today is very much a Formnext and Prog Trip recap with a little bit of wiring the solid fork mixed in. So, hey, Kenneth and Mr. Wizix, Shag and Christopher. What else did I get? There's the AFS that they took to the show. So you got a little better picture with doors not on it. Cybertech. And they were printing things. One of the things they were printing is I guess let's see. I was told to guess what it was, and I knew immediately. I'm sure several here will know immediately what that is, but this is one of the things they were printing on the AFS while there. Hey, Antec. We were talking just a little bit ago about your little tour you gave us and the appreciation for that. Yep, exactly, Dext. This is a toothbrush cover. Travel toothbrush cover. Hey, Larry. Denture case. I went back through and took a little closer pictures of different things on the Core 1. Idler areas and oh, this was, what is this place? Mimaki? I don't know exactly what the technology is they're doing. I didn't actually talk to anybody. I just thought the prints were very cool. Getting into different like demonstration parts and full color polyjet stuff. It is smooth idlers on the tooth belt. Prusa tends to do that. I think they've done that on the Mark MK series forever. Oh, so this one was interesting. It's in jet resin. Mimaki is UV cured resin from an inkjet system derived from their 2D professional printers. Awesome. The other, got a little little print there, and this is another one where fully clear printed die. Smooth over toothed idlers. I don't know. That's a good question. Hey, Ray, welcome. So this printer here is interesting. That right there, what they're printing are these, which is 40A TPU. It is very, very soft. And it is a pellet feeder. That is a pellet feeder V0. So it's widened. And this company Flip Q0 or whatever however you say the name. This has more tricks than just the pellet extruder to it. So kind of looks like gummy worms. Yeah, it's about that. I mean, it's very, very soft. you can print this when you're printing the pellets. You don't have to worry about any. Oh, you ordered that? Good, Ray. I hadn't gotten a chance to send you a message on that. This has an additional trick. So if you look closely at this picture, we're using Vorons to demonstrate the products. Well, loose definition of products, but I think I only saw 3 Vorons there. The 3 that we've gone over so far. The University Project 5-axis V2, the injected infill V0, and then this extended X V0. This, I didn't get a good pictures or video of this, but the trick this has is this bed is 2 pieces. There is the, I'm pretty sure, heated part here that actually is all of this matte part of the bed is one. And then this frame that goes around it. So this is a frame that goes around it. Now they have a, it's not just supported on the side. They have a process they go through where they will print a grid structure across into this little textured part of the frame. They will print a grid structure here and then print their object from 2 sides. So they'll print a layer, they'll move the bed out of the way, and this frame rotates 180 degrees. And then they move the bed back up to support the part and print the other side. So they can produce a print from 2 sides. I think I got a little video here in terms of the little better view of the pellet extruder, but I didn't get a good documentation on this flipping the bed setup. Now there are some interesting questions I had for them regarding licensing. So they're a company producing a product based on a V0. So I was asking them if they were aware of their obligation to open source some of the aspects of this. Now I don't know enough about the license or whatever to what extent they would need to, but at the very least that printer itself and the things they've done with that are very much derivatives from a V0 and should adhere to the GPL3 license. Funny thing that I heard later is someone else had gone over there that I knew and was chatting about them, and they mentioned, oh, we're already working with the Voron team about the licensing stuff. And I'm pretty sure they were referring to my quick conversation with them earlier that day. Because before I was talking to them, they had no clue. I just thought this was cool. Little, what do you call it? I don't remember what you call it. Anyway, the bike frame was, yeah, but it's the process you can go through in the finite element analysis or whatever. Hey, Marcel. It's good to meet you. And just that there is kind of cool. Drivetrain with the dual chains. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that actually has the drivetrain on the opposite side of a typical bike. The Fusion add-on. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. Just big printer doing big printer things. Hey, the Fadid. So this was interesting. So Dr. Clipper runs a German channel talking about Clipper, and they were sitting here watching. So that's the big printer doing big printer things. They were sitting here watching it do its thing, and I walked by and I saw the Dr. Clipper shirt, and I just struck up a conversation. And if you go to his channel, if you search for Dr. Clipper on, dang, I thought Dr. Clipper did Marlin stuff, on YouTube, his latest video is talking about the show, and I'm in the thumbnail. So, had a cool little, very short conversation, but it was fun. Just the random encounters there of someone I had no clue existed or what they did, and just initiated by seeing a shirt. So, hey Alex. Feels good to be back, yeah. Oh, this is monstrous delta. The scale of this is not presented well in this little video. I think this is probably 8 or 9 feet tall. But, yep, the Optimus Primal Optimus, whatever sculpture was there. So as shown on 3D Printing Nerds channel. And this was really cool. It's just I wanted this so badly as a fidget. It was very heavy, very satisfying to play with. It's just the little NASA cloth thing printed on a metal 3D printer. Printed chainmail, yeah. How to make rib for lunch wasn't all that good. Don't get excited. I never have. So I don't know if anybody will recognize the person in the middle there, but they're very notable in the community. This is Fricks of Shaken Tune fame. So Fricks was there, and he was actually here. He works for a company that was presenting at the show. They have this arm in the back. This is about a half scale robot arm of their that they use for their welding. It's a laser welding process for generating parts. The head on here is full size, but the actual product they use is on a robotic arm that's about twice this size. But this is Fricks, currently newish member to the Voron team, and the father of Shaken Tune and Clipane. And this is Frigg from the Voron contributor group. Watching Russ video again, yeah. So it was very cool to chat with them. Fricks took us around because there was a little section of the show there was from French manufacturers and companies, and he took us around to a couple of them to explain a little more about what they're doing. And one of them was a similar to Mark Forged, but an embedded fiber, continuous fiber print process that was kind of interesting. And then another one was a large print company. Big layers, large prints. There's the bamboo, the Prusa bamboo. This was actually really cool, really well done. A lot of, what do you call them? The little push to open magnetic structures. It's bamboo OO, not bamboo U. So, yeah, that's OO, yen. Not you. This is a drawer down here with some storage space, and then on the side, both the tool side and the filament side open up. It's kind of neat. I do not own any bamboos, Clayton, so I don't have any desire to own a bamboo, and it's nothing other than they're a pre-built thing, and I don't agree with some of the things that they do. I think similar to a lot of opinions out there, it's a great printer for those that need it, that it's appropriate for, but it doesn't really fall within the space of what I care about. So, oh yeah, there's it has these, what do you call them? The little push, they're magnetic enclosures, but you push and they're spring loaded, and you push in and it clicks into place, and then you push out, push in again and it clicks out. I don't remember what you call those. But what makes this really customizable, the neat thing about it's clicker, yeah, is the core one is its structure. It's like it's like a clamshell. The back and bottom is a separate structural piece from the top and front. So magnetic cabinet latches, sure. So some customization on things like this is pretty easy to do, I think. Hey, Bart. Oh yeah, and here's the similar, there's the stopper for that cabinet latch. Hey, Morden. And Brick. This is the dinner. This is, so this is Eric, the owner of Big Tree Tech. We got Miguel and Soda, I can't remember the name from, Rat Rig. We've got Luke and his wife. Shoot, I'm forgetting names. This is Geek Detour, about the bricklaying stuff. A couple other folks from Slice or from Big Tree Tech, and then this is, I don't remember his name, but he's from Slice Engineering. Sonnet, thank you. Thank you again. Yeah, so that was a nice little dinner. This is a burger place. Burger place with good beer. I went the wrong way on the train. And when I realized that and got off the train, I had to take a picture of the graffiti. So, little scruffy graffiti. Fellow from Slice used to be at a resin company that KB3D worked for. Oh, okay. Oh, this is a rat rig that I just thought was interesting. It's actuating the bed there, just as it prints. So, just took a good picture of that. Here's the VZBot folks, PB Super and Maze. Good to see them. I hung out with them a bit. Anybody knows them? This, I don't remember his name, but this is the lead designer for the Core One. Also the HT90. So I was able to chat with him a bit, and an interesting conversation about the Z assembly and how that came to be and what they did to make that work well. Apparently there's some magic in the stepper mounts and the printed parts at the lead screw nuts. So. Oh, and there we are, back to the beginning. Hey, 3D Wolf Engineering. What else did I get? Few things I grabbed. Had to grab this. We got the Proto Labs. Is that the company name? They're a 3D printing service and stuff. So there was a few booths with stuff from them, but I had to grab a cool little MJF jet. Hey, Skyrim, with a rotated Voron logo. And then this shopping cart token was similar. It has there we are, Voron logo on it. Generative design, thank you. That is what I couldn't think of. Formnext recap really was a nice fair. Yeah, I had a really good time. What else did I get? Cool. I had to get another metal printed bottle opener. I have no idea what company did this. It was just there as a giveaway, so I grabbed it. And then Geek Detours printed a bunch of these and gave out. So this is the brick layer stacking video that he did. So, what else do we have? So other things I brought back. Oh, I talked to some IGUS reps. So we got some neat little sample prints from IGUS and their various materials. All the FDM stuff can be printed on most printers. So if we ever think of a use case for this, they said to get a hold of them and we can get some filament to use to try it out. Hey, 3D Wolf. Yes, definitely. I got home fine, and I actually worked out, just like going there, coming home worked out really well because, once again, pretty much a lack of sleep for about 24 hours, and we arrived just in time for bedtime in California. So I got to bed about midnight Friday night, and woke up at a good time. So, this is a cool little EOS is a big 3D printing company, and this was just a giveaway there. It's two pieces. It's not printed in one thing, but it was a fun little thing at their booth to give away. Fun little things. What else did I grab? I got this and some of these. So E3D had some of the washers, the PZ washers there. Now they actually made a little bit of a goof and took all washers instead of washers and heat sinks. So they had a surplus of these. So we're gonna try this out. I don't know, on stream or whatever, but we're gonna try these in some other configurations rather than just the Riva Voron setup. I'll try to make it quick. I'm newer to 3D printing, less than 2 years. I find it amazing how people not only design such cool printers, but the software behind them to make them work. Thank you. Hope you have fun with the hobby, Tim. So anyway, I got a few of these. One of the things that I thought would be interesting to try is attaching them to the bed on either a Trident or a V0 and see if you can reliably trigger off of impact to the bed with the nozzle without it being part of the nozzle. So then you could use whatever hot end you want. How many motors is the Z-axis on the core? One, well, there's 3 motors, 1 driver. So they are individually driven, but from the same driver. Does that make sense? Individual steppers from the same driver. Raj, thanks for being a member. They're out of stock at E3D website. Oh, it's an open source and free to use. Mind blowing how smart people are. I don't remember his name, but the owner of this Swiss 3DC was there walking around and we chatted. Now we chatted at Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival. They were there, but I got this, which is their little hot end setup. And we're not going to go through this in detail. I have some plans for it. This is a Prusa Mini heatsink. But the way their thing is set up, there's a little clip in here. And we can take this off. There's a spring clip in there. And then the heater block is split, and that's the nozzle. Listen for one of them. Hopefully I get to chat at Smurf again. Oh, this thing here? Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. The printer the reason I grabbed the mini one is the printer that's probably easiest for me to throw this on to check it out quickest is probably my mini. All the Vorons have things on them right now. So, however, this whole heater block stuff is modular across their lineup. So I also got the parts, which is just the only thing different is this little 3 parts, a washer, the M4 part, and this little plate. And I can put this on a Riva Voron. So, I like how the other Prusa printers have multiple Z motors from the same driver. I hope they aren't pushing the output specs of those drivers too much with multiple motors. I don't believe so, Christopher. I actually talked to JNP about it. And JNP, being the designer of the Leviathan, is very familiar with the capabilities of the different stepper drivers and stuff. And he didn't seem to have a concern of running 3 Z steppers off of one 2130 driver. Now, obviously, I would prefer to see something that was like a Trident where you could fully tram the bed, but assuming a consistent assembly and stuff of the setup, the driving that into the end of travel works. I mean, it works on the Mark IV, and I don't know, how does the XL, I've never actually watched an XL's full process. Does an XL do the same thing? Drive the bed down to the end of travel to tram it? I would guess so, but I've never seen it. Then I got 2 rolls of filament. 2 rolls of filament. So one of them came from a Voron contributor in Prague that we met up with on Friday, had a little dinner with, and I dropped off some stuff for them, and they gave me this Nubufil ABS Astro Blue, which is kind of cool. X1 is the same to the top though. Okay. What's the build size of this one? Of the, are you talking, BBs, are you talking about my solid fork here? Or are you talking about Core 1 or? Anyway, some cool ABS filament. And then because I want to print a basketball. So I got some of the new BQ, got this from Big Tree Tech, the PLAHR. The solid fork is a 120. I saw the Big Tree Tech multi-filament system. I saw it printing. I know a little bit about it, but not a whole lot. And I got a couple of cool build sheets from, shoot, I don't remember their name, in Prague. That was Loki. So that looked, I love this texture. A couple of cool build sheets. Really interested in that filament from our RC planes. Good for crashing, I bet. I bet. ABSX is nice recycled material. Cool. I'm looking forward to trying it. The other really cool thing I got from Loki, and it's sitting here on the salad fork, but these I am really excited about. Got some nice Novofil filament. Yep. What did you think of the Vorons from the Big Tree Tech booth? Oh yeah, those were the other Vorons that were there. Those were done by Meltbro, is that right? And they were, I mean, they were fully kitted out with the Big Tree Tech stuff and the Chaotic Lab CNC parts. They didn't have bottom panels, so that's a strike against them. These were done by, I believe, Loki. And these are very special to me because they are actually cut from Prusa textured sheets. And if you've been around and listened for a while, you'll know that my very favorite textured sheets are the Prusa textured sheets. So now I have some to use on my V0s. Hey, Cheetah Kid. I don't expect the motors for Z to be driven very hard normally. I would assume that you could use some form of FET to switch different coils of the motors off to select the specific motors. Bottom panel made from recycled batter duckies. And I think that concludes everything about the trip. Where can we buy them? These were custom cut, Randy. I don't think they're available for sale. These were custom cut. And there's some with, I think it's testing different settings and burning a few spots, but everywhere where I'd print is just fine. Okay. When building a frame, which side of the washers do you put on the screw? I usually do the sharp side toward the frame. Smooth side towards the head of the screw. Is that you who was asking about that on Discord the other day? I spent most of this trip with data problems. I updated my my cell phone plan to an international plan that gave me 10 gigs of data, and somehow I ran through 10 gigs of data in 8 days, and I didn't expect that. Otherwise, I would have used Wi-Fi a lot more. Buy Prusa plates and lasers, cut them out. Interesting business model. Well, these particular Prusa plates were a little easier to get for this purpose. I'll just put it that way. Okay. Let me see here. Where are we at? Let's bring up. Let's see. See if I can get a page up here. 5. So any questions about Form Next or the trip or anything? Well, I kind of get my mind shifted over to SolidForge stuff. How much data do you say you used? 10 gigs. I ran out of a 10 gig plan. What's the biggest advantage of SolidForge over Trident? Price point difference? It's just small. It's a printer for ants. Was it a Boeing plane? I was on Boeing's and Airbus and one other brand. I was on 3 different brands of planes over the course of the trip. Was there anything inspiring from the industrial side of the printers? Theirs is really cool. I mean, going to these trade shows. Yes, that was it. That was it, ASM. Going to these trade shows and seeing some of the technologies that are out there that I'm never going to be able to afford or fit in my garage. You don't see those otherwise. Hey Ella, I did get one of these, and it's 35 millimeter square. So maybe we need to find a Voron Cube printer to print on it. It's their little cryo grip build plate. So it's actual cryo grip build plate. So just build a bigger garage. So that's the other little swag thing. You work in aviation. Did you see the new Prusa Core XY? Yep, we talked about it quite a bit. If you go back and watch through, Kenneth, I covered it quite a bit. I had a lot of pictures of it. Was Moog there? I don't know. Here's something I can do is let me know if there's any, I'd set this to public and can't contribute. So I think this will work. But if anybody wants to go through those pictures, that's my iCloud album. You're welcome to go back and look at any of them. Curious to know what direction Voron is going in the future with their printers. That's a good question. Heard about Soval Mini SVOA. I think it was 150. It is. And I saw it there. Soval was in a small booth in one of the other halls. Hey, PF Dennis. They had an SVO8 that had the tool head sitting on its side down on the build plate. So I don't know what was going on with that. But they did have the SVO8 Mini there. And it looked interesting. I mean, it looked quite different from a V0. So, and I don't think, it doesn't appear that they're doing, doesn't seem to be leaning, at least that I saw so far, leaning on Voron so much for that, but we'll see. That's a useful answer. Like my Pinky in the Brain shirt. Mm-hmm. They announced the SVO8 Mini. Is that what you're talking about? I have no idea. I went there, I went to their booth. I'm curious if they were gonna recognize me as a Voron team member or not. They didn't. They didn't have a whole lot to say about it. We were just looking. Who was I with? I was walking around with somebody. I don't remember who that was. Oh, it might have been Frigg. Might have been Frigg. Been here for quite some time. Happy to see Cat Kim back. May I ask what their names are? That is Oscar, is the orange single brain cell. And Felix is the Void Kitty, House Panther. Okay, let's see where we're gonna go. So I think I'm gonna start, we're gonna get the bed wiring in here because I think the plan is to get things, so we have the toolhead wiring going down. We have, once we get the bed wiring in, then we can start figuring out where things are gonna go up in here. So. Yeah, so let me grab the old bed wiring, which I think is all pretty much still. Let's see what this looks like. Do what we can to repurpose existing wiring. So here's the bed wiring from before. We should be able to just get that in there and then see where it goes underneath. So this is going to come off here on the bottom. And I apologize for the sniffles. I definitely have climate changes and my sinuses are not happy with me. So maybe a little bit of, let's do this for a moment. There we go. The line a lot, especially with more suppliers offering more custom solutions. We're designing a Voron printer. There's definitely things that we can take inspiration for in the next revisions. But I had mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were here, the horizontal cable chain might be a good, decent solution for taking care of the rubbing of the stuff on the top hat on a Trident. I think it's worth exploring, or at least having as an option. Okay, I have these, and here is I gotta put some heat sinks. Is this plugged in? It is not. There we go. Running around all the time, stuff is addictive. Is that a allergy or a anti-congestion medication of some sort? So the plan right now is we have clears you right out. I'll have to look that up. Sinuses might be walking pneumonia that's going around. If it persists, it's better to have it checked. I will. Got back just in time for the rain. Oh yeah. Wow, almost 12 and a half inches in 48 hours there. Wow. So we've got stream today. We're gonna do Charlie's Angels stream on Saturday and another build Solid Fork progress next. Oh, what in the world happened here? That's not what I want. Unplug. There we go. And then heading to Smurf. And that will be the Smurf will be the last event for a while. There's a chance, there's a better chance than before that there might be a big trip in March for me. So, but I'll talk about that more later. Let's get these things in here. Hey, Ifco. Okay. But then nothing again until Rocky Mountain. So it'll be nice to have some continuous stretches of time to get other things done. Can't attend Remurf now, so I need to book some European events next year in its place. You should go to Smurf. You should come to Smurf. Let's see what we have here. UK doesn't count. Are you coming to Smurf? I'm just going to put this right back in here. You opted not to. Well, that's a bummer. Okay. Let's see here. Don't feel good about Manchester. Ah. Understandable, though I don't know. Let's put these in here. Get those kind of controlled and out of the way. This is going to go up here. And then let's see, some flatheads. Live in Manchester, not comfortable there now. They speak a little funny in Manchester. This one. Go. This is all going to go in here and through this hole in the deck. Want to see a bit of Manchester culture? Watch the UK version of Shameless. Oh, really? Nice album, interesting Core 1 cable chain and filament guide too. Be looking for you at Smurf. Awesome. Yeah, I got to see Tony and a couple of folks from his crew. They didn't have a booth there, Duet guys, but they were there doing business. That's one thing. So interesting. So my experiences with going to various events and attending quite a few of them, it's kind of fun and interesting in the idea of what the different kinds of events. Oh shoot, what happened there? Oh, did this switch? It did. Did it? Oh yeah. So this part changed. This part changed. I need to switch things around. PF Dennis, thanks for the gifted memberships. Wanted to go to form next, but too busy. I'll go into details on my trauma here, yeah. Interesting distinction between the different kinds of events. So you have maker fairs, RepRap festivals, trade shows, right? And the maker fairs, as a 3D printing enthusiast and someone very, very involved in the hobby, you spend a lot more time running a booth type stuff. You spend a lot more time talking to people, explaining what 3D printing is and the capabilities and stuff like that. Where at a RepRap festival, you've got a lot more like closer to peers in terms of knowledge and interests. So you're talking about cool things that you're doing at this level. And then at a trade show, I feel a lot more like I'm kind of there as an enthusiast, so I don't want to get in the way of business going on, because that's really what a trade show is for business to business deals and stuff like that. So you get you latch on to the people that are also there as kind of fun and spend a little bit more time with that. But I try to stay out of the way, not away, but out of the way of some of or be respectful of the business that's going on. Okay, so if we look at this, I've got to redo because this has to flip around, which means that end has to flip around. So that changed. So I think, let's see if we can just flip the end around. I do have a zip tie on there. I'll have to cut off. Did a sales rep try and teach you what 3D printing is? No. At Rapid here in the US, I had a surprising number of companies. I had a couple of companies that sought me out because they heard I was there, that a Voron person was there, and they wanted to talk business about Voron, not really understanding what Voron is. That didn't happen here, but, oops, flipping this around. That should be good. Go like that. And we'll reuse the screws here, I hope. Oh, maybe not. I think they need to be 8s. Or in 3x8s. Should have played dumb and see how much they knew themselves. I know. Time for Voron to monetize. That would be a nightmare. That would be a nightmare. 3x8s. Look at those kitties spilling over the bed now. Floppy on both ends, so hopefully that'll work out okay right there. Let's just put that right there, I guess. Oscar is big. Let's see how much does he weigh now. Let's find out how much he weighs. I haven't looked. I don't think I've looked since we got back. The litter robot has weight scale. Any guesses how much Oscar weighs? I think he was 8 or 9 pounds last time. So Oscar has seen a peak recently of 8.7 pounds. Oscar is 8.7 pounds. And Felix has seen a peak of 7.5 pounds. So it's tracking. Felix is lagging behind Oscar by about a pound for as long as we've had them, I think. Wow. They both said they weighed 2.8 pounds, I think. I think it was 3.8 pounds? 2.8 pounds when we first got them. 2.8 pounds when we got them. And now Oscar is nearly 9 pounds. And they are really liking the heated bed right now. I kind of led that because I thought they were 8 or 9 pounds last time, but I think it was more like Oscar was probably in the 7 pound range to. Okay. Second screw there. So, still resistant and getting them a bigger bed. Well, as long as they fit. And hey, Alan. Oh, by the way, we are raiding into a Meet the Maker from West 3D. after this. I don't know that I'll go long enough to raid directly into that, but they have Kevin from Clipper on as a guest today. So, they're in dog pounds. I hope they're not in dog pounds. That'd be bad. Go rescue him from the dog pounds. And what way is Felix fitting right now? What do you mean fitting? Oh, he's fitting. Heated kitty bed. I probably have an extra Kinovo. I could probably, ooh, we can make a Clipper controlled cat bed. Oh, we're not gonna need this one. We're gonna get rid of that wire because we're using the PZ probe for all things Z. And that just goes there. So let's get some zip ties. Where did he get the heated cat bed? This came from Apollo, and he ordered it off of Amazon. Legit have all the parts for a Clipper controlled cat bed. Use a PZ probe for cat detection. Ow. Yeah, that's nice and clean. You having good results with the PZ Pro with hot bed and chamber? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not having any trouble. The printer I have had it on since the beginning, since before release, is my hottest chambered printer. It's my 300 Trident, the purple one. Hey, John Sick. Scope Creep next week are going to do Scrum meetings and getting Jira license. Definitely get one for my Revos. Yeah, and if you weren't here a few minutes ago, I'm gonna play around with the other version of the PZ probe is a washer style. So I'm gonna play around with that on other setups. I have not installed a monolith gantry. Chance of you building an Ender 3 NG anytime soon? Probably not. I did have a talk with the Rat Rig folks. So I'm hoping VCore 4 is in the works, is in the cards relatively soon. Probably, definitely sometime after the beginning of the year. Hey, Delvin. Yeah, the idea would probably be a 2-stage build there, GPs. Build it as a single tool head and then update it to IDEX after. A little bit of the label on here is keeping it from coming out smoothly, so let's just cut that off. Okay, so that's there, and then we're going to do a little bit of slack control on the here, so we're going to run a zip tie. I think I'm going to have to come to the front in order to make room for the back panel. Okay, so right about there. Is the Phoenix video just waiting on the official release, or did you nix that? I haven't touched the Phoenix videos I have, but yeah, it would be waiting on release. It may end up getting released very raw because there's so much footage, and I have no idea if I'd be able to effectively edit that on any kind of reasonable time frame. Okay, we did not need these. This was for the Z end stop, which we are not using. LL filament buffer by Mellow. I have one. I don't know where I would use it. The other thing I have, which is interesting, and let me know if you guys want to see it, but I have an M1, and I'm considering a little Tuesday stream. Absolutely, Alan. Once I get in there, I need to look at a few videos and do a little self-help for a little bit on some things. So I printed up a bunch of these little clips. I'm gonna kind of temporarily hold, well, more than temporarily. I'm going to put some of these in to secure the things here. I got a bunch, so there are two. What were these for? I think these can probably go out. There's two nuts that were in the bottom side here. I think they were for a previous version, filament entry. I think I'm going to take those out, which means loosening this top extrusion. So it's going to go like that. So why don't we just do that? Get these out of the way. Just going to go in here and just kind of temporarily snap this out of the way. So I don't think I need those, and I don't need those rattling around up in there. That would be my first rat rig build, yep. I got to dig for the spacing of the switch wire panel stuff. Way too long looking for your GitHub and printables page looking for it. I do. It might be on my Voron users, GitHub there. Go. I'm getting this back the same way. Okay, back to this now. Get those two nuts out of there. Put this here, and those are what I'll do for now. I think that's about, let's see how we're doing here. Probably pull just a little bit. Pretty good. Probably pull a bit more. Go with that. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so there. Oh. That gives me a good idea of what my stuff down here should go. I don't know if I should grab this as well or not. I think I'll just leave it off to the side. I think we might be able to get away with just doing 2 of these. Just like that. Up just enough. Make sure I have a slack there. You ever played around with structural panels? I haven't. Well, sort of. I mean, the Phoenix panels bolt to the frame, but not like ACM or aluminum. Two over here. Let's see. How far down is this one? Just under 70, just over 70. Gone off rails. I blame Mandic Labs for bringing up scoop creep. There we go. Dr. Dave, hey. You ever played around? K3, it's loud. may end up covering this other wire over here with the same sleeving, but I'll redo it if I need to. One and one more. How far is this guy? 30. Hey, Zarp. Hey, Apollo. There we go. They are especially liking it being heated right now. I think that's what's got Oscar staying in it. Would you choose a black box CE or a Prusa XL? Depends on what you want. Do you want the build? Do you want the printer? Okay. I was lurking earlier. Hey, Sean. Laura there too. I'm driving to work on a Sunday. Really need to invent robot workers to replace my employees who love calling out. Ouch. Especially on a Sunday. Hey, John. Welcome. My two idiots loved it too until the boy's butt got too big to fit. Well, by the time these guys are full grown, we will be too big to fit, I think. Hold on. Building is most of the fun. So if you want the build, then go one way. If you want the printer, go another. Working on the black box up to stringing the counterweights. Ooh, fun. I hope that the parts I modified are the ones out there now, John, because I made a little extra clearance in the parts for that really helped my build. Okay, let's do one more up here because I kind of want this to get attached. I think right about there, and then get rid of that zip tie. Just got my chamber to 100C. Wow. That's toasty. One thing I am a little disappointed because when I first saw the presentation on the Core 1, I thought it was an actively heated chamber, but it's not. It's regulated by fans. And if it can get to 55C that they claim, then that'll be fine. I think that might be an opportunity to play around with a couple of things. The GPIO board to use a servo to actuate the little PLA vent and potentially use it to play with some other stuff. I pre-ordered a box turtle kit this week. Hope to get it on my Trident, which I need to finish wiring. Nice. Okay, so that is pretty much the above deck wiring done, right? We've got stuff going to the tool head. Seems like we've got good slack here in all spots. You look at the Vivid at Formnext. I did, not in detail. It's pretty early on the one they had there, but it goes down through there. That's there. So now let's see what we're gonna do underneath. Just got done fixing my A1 Mini for the third time. Been working on some G2Z drive units while watching. Nice. Okay, so we have bed. Bed is gonna go straight over here. It plugs into the controller. So let's send this under here. start working on kitties are awake. I guess I'll use the VHB from that Dana didn't take with him. Currently on the way to Austin. Fun. Giveaway had to be turned into an IOU voucher. Oh yeah, it is not, it was not at a state of release. I don't know, was it ever expected to be anything other than a, they weren't expecting to release it there, right? Like for sale. Okay, we got a normal little holders, VHB tie downs. So let's start incorporating some of these. Vivid, VVD, right? Is the MMU AMS thing from Big Tree Tech. So I'm gonna just put that coming right out of the, this is just for bed wiring. And where does this one go? So this is the Super 5 and general info. We've got the Super 5. Where's the thermistor? Drive jumpers, diag, where's the pinout diagram? Pin names? No. Oh, yeah, that'll work. Wi-Fi connector, USB-C. Where is the thermistors? Fan. Where do the thermistors plug in? Fan, heater. Is this it? ADCs? ADC 0 and ADC 1. Hey, Sanity. Is it a complete unit or more DIY? I think it's more complete. So I'll just put this probably in ADC 1. Oh, and that's way over here. Oh, good. That'll plug right in. It says they're 3-pin. Is that where I'm at? Huh, that's interesting. So this would indicate these are 3-pin connectors. Oh no, they're right here. I see. Okay. I see. There are these guys here. Which means I need to swap out my connector. Swap it out for a 3-pin, but I don't need to actually change the length on this. It's pretty much good. So just don't use voltage. Right. Just we'll go center pin and end pin. Yep. And I'll just grab the connector that was from the other one. Pull this off. Go. Tangled together. Bend these up out of the way. And what is that? Yeah, this, we're gonna go 80, well, that's interesting. ATC 0, ADC, I guess we'll just put it in right here. Go ADC 1. And that is the 2 pins that way. So go here and here. This there, and that is going to go back underneath here. They still remove their collars. I haven't found one removed since we got back. It's gonna go down there. This is gonna go right like that. First thing plugged in. We have not seen them remove a collar yet. Is there any new products shown from Big Tree Tech at FormNext? I think the only thing they showed that might not have been, besides the Vivid thing, is they showed this. Yep, CNC board. So this is the Scylla. This is very much a CNC machine, CNC router mill board. So it has the proper, what is it? The 485 connectors and stuff. Not enough relays on it. Which OS is this intended for? That is a good question. I'm certain RepRap Firmware will work on it. And I believe Linux CNC and Gerbil Howl. This particular board is probably going to make its way into my Milo. This one is probably going to go in my Milo. Because the Mellow board that's in there right now doesn't have enough processing power for ARCs. So I have to run everything in low memory mode. And so that will get around that. What's my opinion? I don't have an opinion on VVD. I don't know enough about it. So, looking at that and thinking Milo, yeah. Hey, Zach. Okay, that goes there. And then I was gonna get a zip tie here to lock these in place. There we go. Try enough slack here. Seriously considering a rail mill at the moment. Yeah? That'd be awesome. Gotta go. See you, Derek. Thanks for being here. Hey, Michael. Okay, so that's there, that's there. I'll probably put another one of those anchors over here. This is just gonna have to go to the bed output, which is bed out, which is here on the end. Let's do a little red marker. See ya, Ella. Oh, drive safe. Or travel safe. Okay, little red marker action here. So we have, this one is positive. Okay, and then the one right next to it. That one. And then this one. Oops. This one. Just to help me make sure I don't accidentally plug in things backwards. Okay, so this is bed out. So this is just going to come around here. We will do something like that. It's so close to just reusing those. Maybe I will. At least for right now. Might shorten things up later, but for right now we're just going to plug in. Proper screwdriver. So I'm going to use the Octopus Max EZ board. I'm using it for my all-wheel drive build. Go back to a non-can toolhead and need a 9th driver. I have not. I can even use an Octopus Pro. If I do something like that, that'll be clean. Just like that. And just leave that extra wire that's not going to hurt anything. I got a fuse I need to put in. Yeah, wire length is mostly working. Okay, here is our tool head boards. We have can. Retwist them. There we go. And then power. So what are we going to do for power? I think what I may try to do, because these aren't going to reach. Well, I only need to reach here, because I'm going to use the second output power, the heater, well, heater 0 power here I'm going to use, but ground we'll have to grab somewhere else. What do we have here? Bed power in. Do we need to run a jumper on this for power in on the bed? So am I going to need to run a little Wago setup? The fuses are not installed. Stepper drivers aren't installed, all that stuff. I need to actually find my stepper drivers. I don't actually know if I have any Mellow stepper drivers. I'm gonna go here, just like that. Oh, I want to put a zip tie. I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna need to set up a little, I'm gonna need to set up a little Wago setup. I thought I had, I'll have to look at my extra parts. Get these cleaned up a little bit. Hey, BLD Designs. There, I'll clean that up quite a bit. Let's just move over, and I could probably just leave that right there. See how the skirt fits. Shifted a little bit, and then I was going to print some little spacers just to keep this from shifting back and forth. I'll just do some little clip-on spacers to lock that in place. But I'll size those once I know where this goes. But this is going to go across, and I think I'm going to need... So what do I have for Wago stuff? Did I have anything in the old setup? I was using one of these. So we can use that. We could put it right here in the middle. What do we think of that? Put that there, move this over, Let's bend those down a little bit, and that would go right like something like that, which is a little crowded. If you use non-mellow 2209s, you'll need to bend clip the diag pins. Okay. I gotta be able to get to that, at least for setup. Where's the, is this my box? Yeah, here's the Superfly box. Let's see what we have in here of what we're gonna be hooking up. What do we got? 12 o'clock. We're at 12. We've got 54 minutes till Polymaker filament giveaway time. There we go. Use there. And fuse there. What's this pin over here? You know, we need more likes. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. That fuse keeps this from opening. I mean, it opens straight up, but before it opened more than that. What is this pin? What is this? D3. Is that a, oh, that's fan. That's not really identified. Do you know what that connection is? That thing right there, Nuggerut? Always on VCC? Oh, okay. Cool. I don't need it. I just noticed the connection there. Okay, so... Boy, it is really tight. What if I, instead of putting that there, what if I put it right here? I feel like that might be a little better spot, and it frees up all this space over here. That can go just on the end there, and then we can just do little jumpers here to that, and then this can come through, and one of those can go in there. One of them will have to be extended to go to here. I think that's what I want to do. Thing about the diag pin, if you're going to do sensorless. Oh, that's right. I am going to do sensorless. So that makes sense. Steve, it was nice to meet you at Formnext. Managed to finish my V2 yesterday. It was really fun to build. Awesome. It's good to meet you too. Okay, I think that is where I'm going to put that. Z steppers, the equivalent of the ones from an Ender 3. Which Z steppers? Okay, what do I have for other bits of wiring that I used here? Okay, I got wires. So we're looking at these, the ones for the lead screws on the solid fork. These are V0. These are the same as a V0. These are the same Z steppers as on a V0. So if we take this, what did we have here? 3 X Y 2. Let's see, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3. So this would be 2. Let's see if this fits in here. Thanks for the tip about the Remington. It's well worth the price. Good. Let's see here. So that would be 2. What are we going to use? We're going to AB 1, 2, 3. So this would come under. This would be 2. So this would plug in right there. Take that around there. That'll grab onto the same little tie down right there. I think that'll be the last one back here. So let's go ahead and cut this and redo that one. That around right like that. Yeah, it's pretty much perfect length for that one. This is X, which is B, which is this one here. That plugs in there. Can go across here, or it might go back. Yeah, it might. Actually, that wasn't the end of that then. Take this back over here. Oops, how did that? Yeah, well, that's not good. There we go. Yeah, maybe I'll tie that one in there too, so I wasn't done. Let's twist this again. Why don't people just run wires like an umbilical? So breakout boards, but no need for electronics in the chamber. Run wires like an umbrella. What do you mean? So it goes there. And once again, I'm gonna put another wire into this. So redo that zip tie again. That'll be the last time I do that zip tie. Guaranteed. That goes there. Take the tool head wires and run them as an arch to the back of the gantry. It's kind of what I did, right? I don't like to go down to the gantry though. I think the going to the top of the rear extrusion might give a little better wire path. Look at these guys. Okay, so then this one is Y. This one doesn't need to be as long. Here, oh, and it's still not too bad. I'll go right there. But on bigger printers, they have to go to toolhead boards when I do the same as this printer. I'll DC electronics in a separate modular enclosure next to my printers. Isolate them from the heat and vibration to be able to quickly swap electronics, like a CR10. Similar. They have AC in there as well. But on the bigger printers, they have to go to toolhead boards when I do the same as this printer. I think we are, right? See you, Alan. Yeah, don't forget, folks, right after, or sometime after this, sometime after we're done here, at 4 p.m., is it 4 p.m. Pacific? Then West 3D is hosting Kevin from Clipper on their Meet the Maker show. Okay, so then this is 2, this is 1, it's 3, it's 1, and I think I'll just go under the board. Because it's right there. Be right there. We'll clean these up and anchor them out of the way, but we're just kind of figuring out. And then I think the same thing here. It's going to go under. Went from 16 wires and chains to CAN bus. When I run 16 wires in an arch to the back of the printer, straight to the MCU board. But why 16 wires? Do you want to get away from CAN? It's just weight, I think, is what I'd be concerned about. That ends up being a heavy umbilical. This goes right there. Okay, so let's do a little bit of cleanup here. Go get a couple of these. I found the one I used coming from other community builds. The ties were overused. If I don't have to. One. There are definitely pros and cons to that. The more you constrain a big bundle of wires, the more flex in the wires at the ends. It places forces on the tool head. Okay. This one right there, I think. And this one. Here. Let us snag those spots. Do you have your favorite printer? Of course I do. Let's see how many people in chat can guess what my favorite printer is. Tribent. Hey, Leonard. Solid spoon. Okay, I don't think I showed this last time. I had bought this off of just a little right angle adapter for power here. I had bought that off of Amazon and did that before I went on my trip. Do have a pile of cats, yep. First one, obviously, the Mitre CR10. Okay. Mm-hmm. Probably go underneath that, but we gotten into Home Assistant or other automated stuff yet? I have Home Assistant on this Pi 5. It's loaded on that SSD. I have not, I've installed it and I've logged in, but I haven't gone through to configure and figure out exactly where I'm putting this. But yeah. Yep. And I have just Raspbian installed on this Pi 5 with a case from Pathetic Puma. So Pathetic Puma apparently got this on some clearance site and it was for the wrong Pi. So he offered to engrave it for me and send it over. And then I got the M2 adapter bottom plate for it. So this is running just a regular Raspbian image so I can hook it up to a TV. Yeah, looks familiar, huh? It's a neat little case. It moves all the ports to the back. Full-size HDMI, and there's a little spot here for the SSD. Smart home isn't very smart if I unplug its brains. I know. It's all these little things that I kind of touch on. The projects, I kind of touch a little bit and then move on and then come back and touch a little more. Eventually it'll be running. My Home Assistant running on a Pi 4 NVMe log full of CMA errors. I'll try a Pi 5 next week. Yeah. Which are the CAN port? What's the CAN port? Where do I hook up the CAN? Let's go here. CAN FD information. Let's get this back to 100%. Are you going to plug your USB cables into that Pi, Steve? What USB cables? Into what Pi? And how are you doing, Clee? How well does that case work for GPIO access? It's kind of neat, actually. It's got a, here's a USB, see? But it has a magnet cover for all the GPIO. Isn't that cool? No, the one on the solid fork? Well, they're right there. I got plenty of room here to plug in. The motor on top, is the cable connected? Is the cable connected properly? Oh, probably not. There. Is that better? I've all the room in the world to plug in right here. What do I need to plug in? I don't think I have anything I need to plug in. This is argon 40. Is that right? Argon 40, I think. It's not labeled on it. Am I muted? I shouldn't be. Cam if I want one, yeah. Camera, skirt buttons. Right, but the reality is I probably won't be doing any of that. I do have a DSI display that's going in, so it's going to just plug into DSI. Okay. Where do... Plug in hell because they don't vet any of them. Conflicts galore. Ah, it's on the end there. Oh, good. Very nice. It's right here. So plenty of space to plug my can in right there. So it looks like I'm gonna need to extend this wire because I don't think I can get that to reach my power very well. I'm gonna grab power off of one of the heater outputs here. And then ground will come back to the ground block here. This will be the ground block since it's on the ground side. And then power over here. Power will just come from here to the to the bed and the main power. Your end was muted. Okay. There's one thing we love is extending wires. I know. At least it's pre-tinned. Need to cut that and redo that, but these are tinned on the end, which is not wonderful. Okay, so I gotta figure out which one, I gotta remember which is low and high on the can wires. E-stop skirt button. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just gonna follow theirs. Yellow is, I'm sure yellow is the can high. This is all mellow stuff, mellow wiring, mellow everything. Isn't that the power button? Okay, silicone wire. Did I grab that? I did not. I have other wire and miscellaneous wire and PTFE wire. I need my silicone wire box. I just need a short piece of, is that the, what gauge is this? 22 gauge. What is this? That is not esoterical. This is 18 gauge. Just take the power wires to the AC/DC power supply. I am not just taking power for the I'm not just taking power for the toolhead board straight to the power supply. I am grabbing 24 volts off the HE0 port, because I don't need it because I have a toolhead board, but that also fuses it on the board. So this is the easiest way to hook up and have it be fused. If you hook this directly to the power supply, you're going to want to run an inline fuse. Does that make sense? I need such a short extension here. Oh, what happened? I fried my EBB36 a few minutes ago. Uh-oh. Oops. Most of my power supply have a fused output on them. Well, the power supply itself is fused, but you probably want an individual fuse for the device. I mean, this has a fuse in it, but you don't want to pop it. Okay, I only need a few inches, so I'm just going to use this. How much do I want? Literally just a few. Be more than enough. Using HE0 for toolhead power, don't you need to put a line in config to power it up? No, because power, the 24 volt side is constant. It switches ground. So you don't need to do anything with that. The 24 volt side on these is constant, just like on the bed, the 24 volt is constant. Ooh, that's what I'm gonna do. Doink the things from the link. There. Don't need the base plate for the OmniFix though. So you're going to power the toolboard off a heater. That should be fine. Might need to do a delay in the config before you declare the toolhead motor and stuff after you apply power to the heat X. I've never had to. I do this on all my builds, Nurgle Rot. Since that's just 24 volts, that's constant 24 volts coming off of here. It doesn't there's no delay in getting power to that. So. Let's do this just because you are correct. Let's minimize our chances of getting stuff. There we go. You're doing ground to the power supply. Yeah. Yep. And I mean, really, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time because that fuses it. I don't have to add an extra fuse. I don't have to complicate the circuit. And I'm not using the heater output, so I have all the power I need. that clipper for a long time. Just figured out I should be queuing my prints to save my sanity. Let's see if this will take a... Oh yeah, it's tinning just fine. Hey, see? Here we go. Good idea. Little drop of solder right there. Oops. What just fell? Ah, my little can opener. Okay. Well. Hey, Sir McSquishy. Yeah, 23 minutes until pulley maker time. It's like I don't really have a good view on it. Oh yeah, so it was a good call to protect that. Get this a little better. Hey, Ricky. There we go. That's a nice joint. Oh yeah. Is that one of those super pointy tips? Never get those to work well for me. Always a chisel tip. It is a chisel tip. It's just not much of one. This is my default. This is my default tip. Let's see. It's about a 1/16 of an inch tip, I think, is what they called it. 1/16 inch tip. Okay, where is my heat shrink? Not there. There it is. Yeah, that's my go-to is that tip right there. If I need more heat, then I'll go to, if I really need heat, I got this guy. But the other one is the 1/8 inch tip. I always try to do a Western Union splice between the wires. That's just, for these small wires and everything, this is not under any kind of stress. I think this is fine. Go, get a little. Uh-oh. I had the solder hanging over the edge there. It was drawing cat attention. Okay, these are the, sure I don't just pull, but these OmniFixo things are handy. I did something very similar to this on the Phoenix when I was working on it. I had to solder some stuff and I used the power supplies back there as the fixing points for the for those. Keeps yanking my phone off of the nightstand because I play with the charging cable. Titanium backers to larger Vorons. Did you notice a difference? My largest Voron is a 300, and I can't say that I've noticed a significant difference between it and my 250s that have them. I mean, it's one of those things that technically it's correct. Will you actually see the difference? Good question. Okay, let's get back to this. So this is gonna go, all of this is gonna go under that. I'm just getting this going. So I think, once again, I'll just leave that full length, put a ferrule on it. Out of, where did I put all of those? Are they over here? Figure out where I put my, I think they're over here. 18 gauge ferrules. Yep. A few of those. A few of those. Hey, Dreams Void. See the difference when looking at meshes on my 350s? The backwards, yeah, I don't have a 350 with, I don't have a 350. Phoenix is the largest. Okay. "17 minutes. We are not at 50% of likes here. It'd be cool if we could be. Not up. We don't have 50%. We're a little shy. Or 10 shy. Yeah, the only, speaking of printer sizes, the only thing about the rat rig is I wish they still made a 200. Because I would be all over the 200 size. There we go. Okay, so that. There we are. Some of this wiring is mostly temporary right now. Kind of getting things in place. So then there's the, there's the positives. Hey Daniel. Do we even have a good 200 by 200 Core XY? I don't think so. I mean, ideally I'd want a 250, but 200 by 200 is just tough because there aren't a lot of build plates for it. I mean, I've always said that a lot of my preferences on printers is based on what plates you can get and quality plates. So 180 is a great size when you're looking for a smaller printer because you can get Prusa mini plates. So 200 is a really tough size. And I'd far prefer a 180 over a 150 for any printer, just because of plate availability. 235 is a big one because of Ender 3s. What are 220s? So an Ender 3 has a technical or a from Creality build area of 220, but the plate itself is 235, right? So 235 would be the one that's available for Enders. Okay, so that's there. And then this is gonna just loop around. I think I'll pretty much leave that fairly long. I'll just tie it in there and loop it right back to here. So I'm gonna cut off the tin spot. So I'll cut a little further beyond the insulation to make sure I get any of the wicked in solder. think they're popular enough for vendors to stock them. Why would you make a solid fork over a Trident? Size. I mean, that's about the only thing. I mean, it's another fun build, but practicality, I think it's you build this when you're looking for another fun build. Okay, so that would be the can, and then we can do we're gonna have to cut these because these are tinned as well. So we'll cut those off and crimp on. This is a 4-pin. Hey, Biney. Less void to heat up. The problem with the solid fork here, and I'm coming from the perspective of the 120 build. I think it's similar on the 180 or the 160 build, but there is a lot of chamber volume to bed size on this. It's not as efficient of a printer as some of the others as far as build area to printer volume. So I've got a little 60 or 80 or whatever watt heater in here that's going to be working overtime to get this chamber heated up, right? So this is true. Bob noticed. Bob noticed I did hold those bits so they wouldn't fall into the spot. Mm-hmm. Here we are. I think a Micron Plus is the equivalent build volume to print or heater space to any of the other Vorons. So yes, the solid fork is not as efficient on its space usage. That's just the little drawback to it. Consider Micron Plus a hard build if you build a V0 before? No, it's a good build. At some point, we're going to go over rebuilding mine. Hey, Queasy Diver. At some point, maybe early next year, we might resurrect the Tuesday streams. The things I want to build are stacking up. Okay, so that is yellow on the end. So looking at this diagram here is what I'm going off of. So solid fork also available as a 180. I think the latest version is available as a 180. I have the only, and might still, I don't know if it's still the case, but I have the only 120 millimeter build that's serialized. So there are not very many 120s that were built. I do not have, yes I do. I have 48 volts on several machines, Jeeps. I have several builds running 48 volts on the A and B steppers. Well, maybe not 180 kits, but the design is spec'd for 180. Are we getting video delay? Oh, is it very small? What did I set it? What is set to? Stream latency is ultra low. The stream latency is set to ultra low. I don't usually set it to ultra low. I don't know why it's there. What is the best solid fork size in your opinion? I would do a 180. If there was parts available. Okay, this goes here. That means this is yellow on the end. Oops. That would be, come on. Right there, right? Yeah. I think that's that right there. Yeah. Can is plugged in. Get my bits from satellites. Latency is amazingly good given that. Nice. Seems like less than 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't understand because I didn't actually change it. And in all of my streams, I do use the previous stream in the series as a template. So that's not something I usually touch. Even if I'm doing a new series, I usually use another one as a template and then just change everything. So you're going SBC for the display, right? You got the room to plug in the mini HDMI. No, it's a DSI display. I'm doing a DSI display. You're correct though. I would be screwed if I wasn't. I'd have to come in from the other side or figure out something else here. I am blocking both HDMI ports here. But I have a, I bought a, where is it? Just a wave share. It's around here somewhere. It's just a wave share 4.3 inch display I'm gonna need to make a mount for. So. What is the fastest printer? The printer that you're willing to put the time and effort and parts into and time into tuning and configuring. So you can make many of the printers very fast. And yes, you can parallel process, and that's really the best way to getting more prints out. But the question is really not about parallel processing printing. It's about a single printer being fast. And there's so much to that. You can't just go off and buy a VZBot or whatever and know that you're gonna get a fast printer that works well. The VZBot team has put a ton of time into trying to make their printer capable of running at very fast speeds. And your success is going to depend greatly on the parts you choose, the amount of care you put into the assembly, and the amount of time you put into configuring it. Fastest printer you can have is another printer. You're right. That is true. But the actual question is an individual printer. You will get you will get as long, I mean, if you're printing one thing, 2 printers isn't going to help you. But if you're printing a project, then distributing it across printers is. Okay, I'm going to reuse this and just run a little jumper into the center here to make this. So how long is this going to need to be? Oh yeah, this is the one. These are the ones that don't use the fancy correct screwdriver. but 2 tool heads might. Okay, that's gonna have to bend down and then come up. So I'm probably gonna do something like that. Seems a little longer than it might need to be, but I think that'll work okay. Christmas Jumper Day, a real thing. I saw a reference to that this week on a British show. Christmas Jumper Day. I want to do something here with this. Where did I put them? I'll put them back under here. These cats are being so good down there. Happy with the speed and quality of my bronze. Little chat earlier about it. I feel the urge to order myself a Pi 5 now. The only 2 Pi 5s I have, I bought from the only retail Pi store in the world in Cambridge when I was at Smurf last year. Actually, I want to go. What I'm doing here is getting a couple of pieces of heat shrink that I can use to make sure this wire doesn't split along the, make sure that this doesn't come split. So I'm just going to put these on here, shrink it down so it just stays as one wire is all. It's not super important, but I think it'll keep it cleaner. It's already been covered. What was Formnext? Formnext was awesome. I am super happy I had the opportunity to go. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I mean, the only reason I was able to go is because of you guys. I self-fund my trips, self-fund based on the support that you guys give me. So I have not had any need to be tied to a sponsored trip, which is really nice. There. Now that won't come split apart. Does Clipper work on a Pi 5? I thought they hadn't got a completed port. It's all ported. It's all in the video encoder, right? Or the camera. Not the camera, but is it the camera? Something about video encoding. Discord stream of a zinc. Ooh. We could. That's a good call, Apollo. Why don't we do it? Let's plan that. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I like it. I like that art. Okay, now let's see if we can get this in here well. that. Let's just pull this off here for a second. It is giveaway time. Did we hit? Oh, we're over 50% of likes. That's good. If you haven't hit like, be sure. There, that's clean. That is clean. And then we'll need to run 2 or 4 wires over to here. Okay, filament giveaway time. Are we back to people actually wanting filament? I haven't looked at the numbers yet, but lately people haven't wanted filament. We've had fewer entries than people watching, which is strange. Very strange. Do people actually want filament now? Let's find out. Let's see. You like filament? Orion wants filament. Who all wants filament? Okay, we have fewer responses than people watching still. New build almost working. Yeah, I want filament. Everybody wants filament. We've got at least 80 of you that don't want filament. At least 80. You could. If you're in the US or Canada, the coupon you get doesn't have to be used for filament. Their dry boxes are actually really nice. Okay. So, as always, I close the entries when we haven't had a new entry. Oh, I usually set up the thing first. So let's get this going. Oh, this is all from last time, so let's delete that. Okay. Finished 5 spools in the last 2 weeks. Hey, Leo. The poly dryer is awesome. More filament for me. I have to buy my fingers. They don't want to give it to me. Okay. I will close the entries when we have not had a new entry in 3 seconds. So all you people who like to play the game, get them in now. I do have the email prep for the winner. So remember, I give instant gratification on this now. When you win and you're here, I send the email right away. So I haven't had a new entry in 3. This is Oscar. Oh no, I'm sorry. The wheel is Charlie. Charlie had a longer nose than Oscar does. That's a key difference. Charlie had a more slender face. We got 1 since I started, so I'm gonna start over. So 3, 3, 2, 1. Instant gratification, please Steve builds 3 seconds. Well, I mean, I gotta have my fun, right? Half, because we haven't had a new one. I don't get to start over. Quarter. And there are 287. We have like 68 people who don't want filament. Okay, haven't had a new one. We're done. Closed. Yep, actually closed because we didn't get any. I kept waiting for that 1 more to come through. Okay. Let's see, who got in there first? Brian T got in first. Who was that last one? Record time, really? Obi-Wan Kenobi, you got in the last entry. Oh, okay, let's go. Let's go, what is today? Today's the 24th. That means that I have an entire, like, 10 days until leaving for Smurf. So let's go 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Let's see. Joseph Barling, you said 5. So let's go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and spin. Who do we got? Who do we got? Jeff! Congratulations, Jeff. Are you here? I know you. Still got to set a timer. Congratulations, Jeff. Speak up. You are. Even before I got my timer actually set. Turn that right off. Congrats. Jeff's not here, man. That's Dave. Dave's not here, man. Dave, are you still here? Awesome. You are in the US or Canada, so you get a coupon to the US or Canada store. Are you getting filament or are you getting something else? Okay, let me get this saved into here. Everything looks good. Copy that. You are there. Dave is here, man. We'll see, probably filament. Sent emails. Okay. And okay. Everything's good. And you should have an email. Congrats. Okay, let's do all the things. In this. Okay, save that. Awesome. Do you have the email yet? Did it get there? Close that. Let's go ahead and clear this. There we go. Not yet. Come on, Googles. Googles has sent it. Okay. What is next? What is next? Oh, main power. Let's get main power over there. Let's go. How do I want to do this? I guess I can run both of those. Holiday season emails might be slow. The delivery is a little congested. Okay. I guess, what do we have here? Oh. Morse coded over. Where's that pin names? Oops, I'm over here. So we have board power, power in for the drives. Oh, we have to throw power in for everything. We have to throw 3 over here? Oh, I don't really want to run 3. Got it, was hidden in the promotion. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. don't really want to run 6 wires over here. So I think I'm gonna run 4. Pretty sure I'm gonna run 4. See ya, Hybrid Robotics. Yep. These are not. Okay, so ground, I just wanted to confirm, ground is common. I'm gonna run a heavy gauge ground over there and then 3 power wires. That way I'm not quite as big a bundle of wires coming from over here to over here. You can connect an ID hard drive to that board. Just about, huh? We are going to, in another stream, I'm not prepared to do it now. I did find all my 100 ohm resistors. We need to make a harness that goes from here to here. But we have to put in 100 ohm resistors in line. I think it's only 4 wires, 4 or 5 wires that have to go. And that's, if we go over here, that's explained. I think that's explained in here. Where is it? It was connecting via SBC and then suffering from random disconnects between the board and SBC, but keep them short. And where was the wiring diagram for that? Wasn't it on this one? Connecting your SBC. The pinout for the fly can be found here, and the schematic for the Duet 3 for reference can be found here. Table shows the pins required. You don't need a 100 ohm resistor on the ground, but you do on these other pins. So it looks like there's six wires that's needed. You need to use a GPU cable. That should cover data and power as long as the connectors don't catch. On what? New MCUs and Crossfire config. So yeah, there's the pins here to here, and we'll either make a harness on stream or I'll make it ahead of time. So power, I need to get some more 18 gauge wire. I don't have this. Probably not long enough, is it? No. We need 3 of these. Something 5 volt outs driving 3.3 volt logic. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna separate these. Darn it. Because I need 3 of these coming over. I think I'm gonna go right along the here. So here, let's just do this. Oh, yes. Wires dangling are just too much. Okay, so that 2. It's the shortest to the longest, so that's gonna have to go about there. So what if I go here to about there? That's 1. And then we'll need 2. That's going there. So this one is going there. One more. Jim, do you link to the guy that makes 114 scale construction equipment, all 3D printed? I've seen that. That's a YouTube channel, right? I don't remember the channel name, but if it was mentioned, if you mention it, it'd probably ring a bell. Oh, that's not that much shorter. Okay, so this one will be about the same length. There we go. It's kind of annoying splitting that wire, but I have to order some fresh stuff anyway. Downside to everyone wanting high voltage stepper options, more power wires, yeah. Bernie 22RC, that's not the one I was thinking of. That's not the one I was thinking of. Okay, so we're gonna run 3 18 gauge wires, and just because I have them, I'm gonna run 1 heavier gauge wire for ground. What are these? I think these are 16 gauge. Time for more coffee, nice. Run 1 16 gauge wire, and it just has to go to the one side. So there we go. Okay, so careful with splitting this. Make sure it doesn't try to grab the splitting fine. Cop cars and about a dozen all parked across the street. There we go. Okay, let's get all of these set up. I think we'll get these wired in and then probably call it for the day. I am still quite drained from the trip, so I could use I could use a little more relaxed. Let's see what size is 16 gauge in here. Black. There's a black 16 gauge. That's good, because I wanted it to be black. Finished printing treads for the Death Racer, 1 pin short. Oops! CNC Kitchen did a cool thing. CNC Kitchen did what kind of cool thing? Oscar has got his eyes focused on all this wire fun I'm showing him. Showing off. Make them go watch it. I don't, Stefan isn't going to, I'm pretty sure Stefan is not going to Smurf. That one I do remember the answer when I asked. They have new things and studios set up to do. Never spoil, only troll. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay. Said something about the airline canceled his flights. I'm okay. I thought he said he wasn't planning on going anyway, but I don't know. So I'll just do that to all of these and then just flip them around. I gotta grab a couple more. Oh. A couple more of those. And they're playing New Studio with the other guys from the CNCs. Okay. Show the longest of these. One that's slightly longer than the rest is, I think, right here. And the other two are about the same length. Okay. I don't know if I'll take these over the side or underneath the power supply or something. But the next thing is to, there they are. Okay. All three of those guys and didn't realize they hung out together. That's gonna go there. Longer of these. There. So what this means, we've got this mostly wired now. The next thing is to be prepared to actually get the rest of this set up next stream. Maybe powering things on. Got the tug test. You're right. Yep, it tugs. I did forget. So next stream we'll be cleaning this up and probably fixing things in nice, neat paths. And hopefully powering up and loading stuff. like here's stuff. What are you? Okay, you're probably fine. You're dumb. Okay, so that is a full. I might have a little more length than I need on these, so maybe I'll go that way. I don't know. But all of that'll go. All that'll get tied down to anchors below. But yeah, Orange Cat doing Orange Cat things. Oh, there he is again. Buddy. He does like the rough pets though. They both are pretty tolerant of rough pets. They have grown, haven't they? Hey, Andres. Okay. What am I missing? There's pretty much nothing else to really hook up, right? I got fans. The skirt fans will need to get hooked up. Screen, EXP, NeoPixel. I don't think there's any NeoPixels I have. Hey, Brian. Welcome. When's your next part on your Physetic V0 build? Oh, there you are. You can't do that. You can't do that. He tries to get into this like 4 or 5 inch space on top of my computer. That's right. You get back in your bed. That's him batting at my fingers. I'm playing. You know, that's something that Charlie never did. He never did that little cat punch. And I think it's so cute. He probably hates me for it, but I think it's cute. Okay. What do we have? What do we have? We have. You'd be amazed how much stuff has in a small space. Yeah. Yeah. We have fans over here. So we are going to be plugging in a couple of fans. So let's go ahead and put in the MOSFETs. And there is a, what is it? These are going to be 24 volt fans, I think. I think that's what I have. Yeah, 24 volt fans for the skirts. So right in here, we are going to put jumpers. We'll just get things configured. Eke out a few more minutes of progress. So one thing about the Mellow boards is they have replaceable fan MOSFETs. So these plug in, and we only need one of these. So this goes in either direction into this little port in between. It doesn't really matter how it gets plugged in. I'm not going to be plugging into the other one, so I'm going to save the other MOSFET. But I do have to tell both of these because I'm probably going to plug them in individually since I have the ports. VCC. So we're going to plug these in, set these up as, I guess we're going to use fan 2 and 3 there. So set them both up as 24 volts and plug them in. So anyway, I think that's a good spot that we're in now. Like I said, I've been sniffing here, so I think oops, I moved the whole camera way over here, so let's get a better look at this whole thing. Sitting here sniffing, so I think I'll call it. This seems like a good spot. So that needs cleaned up, but the basic, everything's hooked up. The bed wiring is in and clean. And for next week, what I will have prepared is the skirts. So we'll be putting in the skirts, put the display in, get things, 2.7 screen as a small screen. I haven't seen replaceable MOSFETs before. Is that because they can blow out? Yeah, and it's one of the things that Mellow decided to do. Pretty much all of their boards, including their toolhead boards, have a little replaceable MOSFET. See that right there? That's a little MOSFET board. I hope it's on there well enough to where fast moves isn't gonna dislodge it, but yeah. It looks like, nope, I have the voltage select on there. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot to have this hopefully powering up next stream. Let's see how it goes. I really like the fact that the toolhead boards have replaceable MOSFETs. Fortunately, I haven't had to replace them yet, but I'm glad I can. Agreed. And I mean, I've never blown. Oh, okay. Knocking extrusions over. Sorry. Oscar being mischievous. It is frustrating if a MOSFET blows and renders board useless. Yep. So I've just been lucky enough not to have blown one yet. Oh, here we go. You are very awake, so we got to look at Oscar last time. Felix. Just waking up. Yep. You just lost a MOSFET on a board last weekend? You're not happy. A little groan. Okay, so Saturday we'll have a member stream. We're going to finish up the 3D Sets Mini 4x4 Rescuer build. Hopefully finish it up. I think we'll finish it up. I do have proper Lego tires now, which are guaranteed to be better than these 3D printed ones. Although having these as an option is a good thing. But hopefully finish this up. Then Sunday we'll be back on this. And fortunately I have Thanksgiving weekend to prep for it all. So with that, thank you everybody. Thanks for the gifted memberships, or members, the people who became members, Polymaker for letting me give away more filament, and thanks for hanging out. Have a good rest of your weekend and good week. I gotta go rescue the stuff off my bench that's about to fall over because of Oscar. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the build. Bye. Oh yeah, have a good holiday, Thanksgiving for anybody who's in the US or wherever. Celebrate that. So, bye.